from. You gon' say Detroit City when we get back on our feet. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City when we get back on our feet. Yeah, you don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets. Cause when you're in the Motor City, nothing is as pretty as the hustle. You don't know about the day, you don't know about the streets. Cause when you're in the Motor City, everything ain't pretty but it's love though. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City when we get back on our feet. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City when we get back on our feet. Yeah.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Spike Kool-Aid. Let me turn my headset. Turn me up in my headphones, man. Welcome to Spike Kool-Aid for Wednesday, February 22nd, 2022. Remember, I'm only going to be on every other day because it is that time of year, man. And Nick is on with Touchdown Detroit Lions on Tuesday. And I think Thursday I'm going to do some work on, my graphics and other things from other channels. You know what I'm saying? So what is going on? We got Calvin. We got Vash. We got Bonzilla. We got Shoebox Sports. What's going on, people? What is popping? Hope you guys had a good Monday, a good Tuesday. Today here in Michigan, we have a snow type warning. It's like a sleet, freezing rain, layers of ice. So your boy is at home today. I will not be taking the road. I want to be safe. I want to be safe. Calvin says we got that blizzard. Yeah, man. School got canceled. Yup. My son is actually off this week. His school district, they're on midwinter break. They get a whole week. I was like, man, I don't remember a whole week. Let me know if you got a whole week back in the 80s. Y'all remember a whole week in the 80s for midwinter break? I remember semester break. I remember like a couple days. I don't remember all that. What's up, Denzel? Says we got a tornado warning in St. Louis. Wow, bro. Well, I hope you are careful, my friend. Be careful out there. We had a tornado in the summer, right in the preseason of 2021. We had a tornado. It was 80 miles away from us, but it was close enough to knock out power to where I lived. It took out it was almost, I want to say 500,000 people without power. It could have been more than that. It took us 3 days to get power. It took some people 7 to get power. So, yeah, man. What's up, Jaden? Says my break was Friday, Monday, and Tuesday. Yeah, my son has the entire week. I know some school districts are different, but how's everybody out there? How's everybody doing, man? So, today, man, it was news galore. I was supposed to be on at 2 o'clock, but, it don't always work out. As I get this thing hunkered down, we will be consistent. I got a lot of stuff going on. So I do apologize. That's on me. No reason to be late or miss my scheduled time. Trying to run a legit business. You got to be on time. But a lot of stuff. What's up? Paul, what's going on? What's up? A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff came out today in Detroit Lions land. I mean, a ton of stuff. It was almost like the media was holding on onto all this stuff, and it just just hit us, just came out today. Rumors galore, right? We got some rumors. We got some confirmed and unconfirmed. We got some good news on the Calvin Johnson front. Is DJ Chark staying or no? No official word yet. No official word yet. But my guy, Mr. Poole, says they should be close to an extension, like a deal. So we got, so Calvin, his contract got voided. It was always meant to be voided. It was a 3-year contract, $10 million fully guaranteed. The 3 years, though, was more of a salary cap thing more than an official. It happens all the time. Nothing out of the ordinary. Happens all the time. So we got so much stuff to talk about. Let me see how I can kind of keep this in order. Or, how I can try to set this up where it's enough to cover. I can kind of flow and cover things. But one thing that I will say is something intriguing happened today. And I want to make sure I have everything queued up for this thing here, because we got to talk about it. And I already know what the reaction is going to be from the Lions fan base and from most of you guys, but I still want to talk about it. So let's get this thing started. The Tennessee Titans woke up this morning and they said, you know what? We got to get under this salary cap. The Tennessee Titans went from $25 million over the salary cap just 8 hours ago to now $4 million under. They made some massive cuts, one of them being Taylor Lewan, the offensive lineman out of Michigan. He knew he was going to get cut. He said it on Bussin' with the Boys. And it was funny because he broke the news. He broke the news. He knew it was happening. Taylor Lewan cut. The Tennessee Titans are cleaning house. They are now underneath the salary cap. I wonder why, but that's a different video. This video here is about a guy that was released today that was traded to the Tennessee Titans last year. Now, before I paint this picture, I want y'all to consider something. The Tennessee Titans have a problem. Yeah, they were over the salary cap, but can you see a pattern here? A.J. Brown, Robert Woods is the guy I'm referring to, and Josh Reynolds. Both, A.J. was traded away, and Josh Reynolds, the middle of the 2021 season, asked for a release, and he got it. He was picked up by the Detroit Lions. I called that move. Lions were first on the waiver wire. Now we're at the end of the season. Lions finish at 9-8. Robert Woods has been released. Now, last year, this to me would have been a no-brainer. But I want to ask you in the chat, how would you feel if the Lions were to sign Robert Woods? He is a free agent. He is cut. He no longer has a team. Now, before you give me your answer, I will tell you mine. Last year, I think it would have fit. Robert Woods is a receiver. He played with Josh Reynolds, but more importantly, he played with Jared Goff in that Super Bowl run. He actually is very familiar with Jared Goff, right? So my thing is, should the Detroit Lions sign Robert Woods? I don't know if they should. Denzel says, I don't if he fit. Robert Woods would fit no problem. But the issue is, where could we put him? If you look at the Detroit Lions receiver room right now, and I know Robert Woods is 30, yada, yada. Robert Woods, y'all got to stop looking at age. We have the second youngest team in the National Football League, right? We need some veteran leadership. So it's not about, in this case, Robert Woods' production as it would be maybe last year. But don't forget that Josh Reynolds, he produced as well. He kind of took a back seat last year. So with the emergence of J-Mo, with the possible re-signing of DJ Chark, and the fact that we can count on St. Brown for everything, where would Robert Woods fit? Because right now, Josh Reynolds doesn't really have a place. In a 4 wide receiver set, you got Josh Reynolds. Now, here's what I'm thinking. When it comes to Robert Woods is 30 years old. He had 500-plus yards last year with the Tennessee Titans. He was injured the year before that with the LA Rams. He's been in the league for 10 years. He's going on his 11th season. Robert Woods would be a veteran piece. Jeff says, I would rather get Lazard. Now, I like that. However, right now, Jeff, I'm looking at the fact that Jared Goff is better when he's comfortable, right? We know that Jared Goff needs to be comfortable. We saw immediate chemistry between him and Josh Reynolds. They didn't even have to form it. It was there immediately. That chemistry that he had to develop with DJ Chark, and he had to develop with Jameson Williams, and even St. Brown, he did not have to do that at all with Josh Reynolds. I don't think that he would have to do that with Robert Woods. Troy says, I would bring back Marvin. Now, the issue with Marvin Jones is 32. So we talk about age. Marvin Jones can still perform. Facts. But when I saw, this video I made last year was a total dud. It flopped. I wanted the Lions to trade for Robert Woods. So here's my thing. Robert Woods is a free agent. He's 30 years old. He would be cheap. Robert Woods would be right where Brad Holmes is looking to fit. Had to hold back a cough. Robert Woods, let me see if Spot Track has his salary. So I'm looking at Robert Woods as, I'm not looking at him being a game changer, right? We have 4 wide receivers that we can count on. Jeff says Lazard and Tomlinson, help yourself, hurt your rivals. Yeah, that's the first thing I thought about. When I thought about Alan Lazard, I thought about Green Bay, right? That's the only thing I thought about him. He's solid. He's solid. So for me, would I sign him? It depends on the salary that he would want. Right now, Robert Woods would be a 3rd or 4th receiver. Right? I'm looking at more of the, oh, man. Are you kidding? He got a sign. What? Oh, no. What? Robert Woods had a signing bonus of $2,600,000 with the Tennessee Titans. What's up, Mackenzie? Mackenzie says 1 year, $3.5 million. See, Mackenzie, you speaking my language, bro. That's so. What I'm thinking is, and so I see J-Mo, I see Chark, I see St. Brown, I see Josh Reynolds and Robert Woods as the same receiver. And I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be real. As Jerome used to say off Martin, man, I'm gonna keep it 100. I wouldn't mind picking up Robert Woods as a core veteran leader piece to play the same role as Josh Reynolds. Remember when we lost Josh Reynolds? Because I don't know if Tom Kennedy makes this team. He didn't make the team. We picked him up on the practice squad. We waived him about 3 times. I don't think he has that same when you go past Josh Reynolds, there's nobody there. We went from having the worst wide receiver rooms to one of the top ones, and then everybody started getting hurt. Chark went out. Jameson Williams, we knew he was hurt. All we had was St. Brown for a minute. Josh Reynolds' back was hurt. He missed 2 or 3 games. So, for me, I think the Tennessee Titans, this was a case of the guys not getting the ball. The same thing happened to Josh Reynolds. Don't forget that. Josh Reynolds' career was nothing. They had A.J. Brown, they had Julio Jones, and Josh Reynolds wasn't getting the ball, so he asked to be released. I would not mind this. I wouldn't mind this at all because unlike you might be looking at it, Robert Woods is he would add to the receiver room. He's familiar with Jared Goff. The salary would be super cheap. So now you would have this, I'll paint this picture and we'll end this segment. I'll paint this picture. Chemistry with Woods, chemistry with Chark, chemistry with J-Mo, chemistry with St. Brown. Quintez Cephas will not be on this team. I do not believe he's going to be on this team. Could we still draft a wide receiver? We could. But if we picked up Robert Woods, maybe we don't have to. Maybe we don't have to. We got to get that defense right first. First and foremost, whether it's in free agency or the first 3 of the 5 picks we have in the top 3 rounds. We got to get that defense right. So Robert Woods, 1-year deal. Like McKenzie said, $3.5 million. Chemistry with Jared Goff. He is going to take the place like him and Josh Reynolds will be a tandem. And don't forget, y'all, this is the last year of Josh Reynolds' 2-year deal. 2-year deal. Khalif Raymond, 2nd year. Josh Reynolds, 2nd year. Robert Woods, 1-year deal. Next year, we could be losing 3 receivers. So I would take Robert Woods. I really would. He would be super cheap. He would be a core, like a depth piece. And I think he would be valuable. I really do. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Yeah, y'all, I made a video about trading for Robert Woods last year because he was still under contract with the Los Angeles Rams. And obviously I didn't think Brad Holmes was really going to do that. But now him being cut, that's like Josh Reynolds. When Josh Reynolds was released, it was like, bruh, this is a no-brainer. Speaking of no-brainer, I just heard DJ Khaled, no-brainer. Huh. As Justin Bieber say, it's a no-brainer. To me, it's a no-brainer because the deal, it's like a win-win situation. It would be a 1-year deal. It wouldn't be that expensive. You know what I'm saying? So I would bring him in. Facts, I'm not giving DJ nothing over $10 million a year. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. What was that song, man? Mark Ronson? Ooh-wee. DJ, you know that's what he got this year, bro. DJ Chark. According to the rumor mill, they're finalizing the deal, so I don't know. But I would pick up Robert Woods, man. I think he'd be a valuable piece. We don't have to lose. We don't have to trade for him. He wouldn't hit the salary cap that hard. So for me, that's a yes. Now, I wanted to talk about something that I saw today that completely blew my mind. And I want to know how y'all feel about it because I already know. I already know what y'all going to say, man. But, you know, we in this time of speculation. That's what the entire offseason is about, speculation. That's what makes one of the things, makes it fun. You know what I'm saying? But I saw something today that blew my mind. I'm trying to find it because now I can't. But it involved a running back that is a free agent. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Okay, let me see if I got it on my phone. I do. Okay, let me email this to myself. Well, I don't necessarily need to do that. I can look at here. I'm always down for these sorts of deals. Veteran wide receivers for cheap have worked out very well for the Lions in recent past. Well, not quite, man. Not quite, but you wanted something. Remember, we had Bashard Perriman. We had the only one that worked out was my man, Kadero Hodge, a practice squad guy that we picked up from the Cleveland Browns. All right. Now, this right here is going to blow your mind. We'll get to the Calvin Johnson news, too, Calvin. Calvin Little. Calvin for Calvin, huh? So I saw this today, trying to figure out what I was going to talk about for the show and is there any topics. And I saw one that was like, you know what? There's no other words to describe it except these.
Oh, my God.
This is from Pro Football Network. 5 teams that should trade or sign Saquon Barkley? Chicago Bears, Atlanta Falcons, Washington Commanders, the Miami Dolphins, and the subject of this show, the Detroit Lions. Now it comes out, first of all, Saquon Barkley is a guy that I just don't think we have a chance at. And it's very interesting because Saquon Barkley is getting compared, or I should say there's a running back coming out this draft who is getting compared to Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley was drafted second overall. This guy is going to come out in the first round, probably the middle or so, if not a twinge higher. His name is Bijan Robinson. Saquon Barkley is a free agent. The New York Giants have to use a franchise tag, and rumor has it that Daniel Jones won $200 million, that he turned down $45 million. Right? Now, the question that I have for you, the viewer, is should the Detroit Lions try to sign Saquon Barkley? I already know what you're going to say, build through the draft, and you have a point. I think Saquon Barkley is a conundrum. He is right in the middle of should you, shouldn't you? Okay? Why should you? Why should the Detroit Lions sign Saquon Barkley? Because for half of last season, he was the leading rusher. He is the back that he's a back that could create space. He was actually the leading rusher until he played us. I don't know if y'all knew that. Saquon Barkley was the leading rusher in the NFL when the Detroit Lions shut him down. He is also 2 years removed from a brutal knee injury. Saquon Barkley is 26 years old. Orlando, that's what I was getting at. Evan says, I can't imagine that Barkley will be cheap enough for the Lions, and that's going to usher me into my next point. Saquon Barkley reportedly has turned down $12 million a year. He is looking more in the realm of 16. However, from his mouth, he says that he's not necessarily looking to reshape the running back market. Now, the franchise tag can only be used on one person. So, what will the New York Giants do? Now, if you ask me, you going to franchise Daniel Jones over Saquon? That's dumb if you do that. But let's say that they do. According to Pro Football Talk, says that we should sign Saquon Barkley. Detroit has to consider such a massive upgrade in talent because they have a rare opportunity to further build on a strength. The Lions have a ton of cap flexibility, and only DJ Chark is a notable free agent. Wow. Well, how about Jamal Williams? Restructures and likely cuts can push them to more than $50 million in cap space, easily justifying a deal with Barkley to maximize their ability to win now. It would also cross out any chance the Lions use one of their first-round picks on either Bijan Robinson or Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, that last point there is intriguing. Saquon Barkley is 26 years old. Bijan is what, 21? Bijan is where Saquon was at in 2017 or 18 when he was drafted second overall. You have a running back who is at the peak right now, but arguably on the decline. Will start to decline very soon, right? But he is a free agent, right? So for Saquon, you have to pay the bag. And remember, y'all don't want Jalen Ramsey, who would be getting more than Saquon Barkley is asking for. Y'all don't want Daron Payne, who would be getting more than Saquon Barkley is asking for. So the pro to this is he is a free agent. He's less than two of the top people that we talked about before. And you don't have to give up any trade capital, any draft capital. Now, with Bijan, you have to give the 18th overall pick. So, do you give up the bag to Saquon for a 26-year-old running back who can help our team he would be here for at least a 3-4 year deal. So he would be 30 years old. Or do you draft a running back? So for me, I see the win-win scenario. I see a win-win. I see a lose-lose. It's intriguing. Would I mind? Shoebox says, definitely pick up Saquon if the price is right. Can't count on Swift and don't want to put too much load on Jamal. I think that's the comment of the day. Real talk. Swift is on his way out. My honest opinion is if Swift cannot have a career year, he will be on his way out. And that's another thing, too, that's intriguing about this whole thing. If you want a dynamic running back, which is what Saquon Barkley is, he's like a mixture of Jamal and Swift at the same time, piled up in one, right? Now, we all know we would take Saquon. I would have to say unanimously that we would take Saquon over Josh Jacobs. Is there anybody in the chat that would disagree? From a talent standpoint, right? Swift is on his way out, and I'm telling you what, if the Detroit Lions don't do something this year, they will have to next year. So do you pass on a Saquon Barkley for a Bijan Robinson, or do you risk it and you wait till next year to draft or get a free agent running back? Jamal Williams is our free agent running back. DeAndre Swift is on his last year. And however you switch it up, and we even heard a couple shows ago, I think it was Monday's show, that the Philadelphia Eagles could be in the mix to trade for DeAndre Swift. Don't forget that as the trade deadline was approaching, November 1st at 4 o'clock, at about 3:30, reports started to swirl that the Philadelphia Eagles wanted to trade for Jamal Williams. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if this rumor is 100% true, that the Philadelphia Eagles are in the market for DeAndre Swift. 3 to 4 year to Barkley sounds like it'll be good. Drafting a running back in the first round sounds like the worst possible thing the Lions could do. So, Evan, you're saying bag over draft. Josh Jacobs, in my book, imagine the production behind our great line. Okay, that's what Shadow says. I agree, Fearless. He's not a workhorse, but lightning in a bottle, and not every running back has that. We must be talking about Swift. So, you know what? These are two topics that I talked about to start the show that are very intriguing to me. This one is very intriguing because Saquon Barkley is a guy that I didn't even think would be on the Lions' radar, but you would have to say he's on every team's radar, right? You have to say that. He's Saquon Barkley. He was the leading rusher in the NFL, and I think Josh Jacobs walked away with that honor. So, and remember now, Derrick Henry is pushing 30 years old. And he's still doing this thing. Saquon, to me, is at his peak right now. So he's like on the cusp. So he's still, and then I don't know if he'll get any better, but the decline starts, in my honest opinion, probably around now. So let me know in the comments below. Free agent Saquon Barkley, who is looking for $16 million a year, which is less than both Jalen Ramsey, who we would have to give up trade capital for, and Deron Payne, which is looking to get $19 million. We can get Saquon Barkley for $16 million a year and save the number 18th pick in the 2023 NFL draft. Now, for me, man, that's a win. That's a win. Saquon, Jamal, oh my God. I'm telling you, that's a win. The Lions we would be up there when it came to offense. Let me know what you think. I would get Saquon, but wouldn't re-sign Jamal. Okay. You know what, Fearless? At that point, I don't think you could. What's up, KD? You know what the most intriguing thing about this is? The fact that Saquon Barkley is not looking for $20 million a year. He's not looking for 22, 23, 24. He's looking for $16 million. That is currently less than Jalen Ramsey is getting next year. That's or just above that. I think Jalen is between 15 and 17. That is $3 million less than what Spot Track has Deron Payne getting. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if the Lions, and I would have to say, of course they're looking. Of course they're looking. They have to be. They'd be stupid not to. They would be stupid not to. Saquon is too much. We have a running back group. If you get Saquon, Moss, production, and strengths are just backup material. Okay, Eric. All right. So, Eric, let me ask you this, man. Knowing the situation, knowing that currently we have no idea what Jamal's contract is going to be, we assume it's going to be another 2-year deal. The fact that DeAndre Swift is on his last year, what would you do? What would you like to see the Detroit Lions do? What would any of you like to see the Detroit Lions do? Our running back room right now consists of a free agent who is not re-signed with our team and a guy who was drafted in the second round who is on the last year of his deal. So fast forward to 2023, and what do we have? What do we have right now? Let's say best case scenario, we signed Jamal Williams to a 2-year deal. We're walking into 2024 with Jamal Williams, and that's probably it. Our running back room is Jamal Williams, if he resigns, DeAndre Swift, Justin Jackson, Jamar Jefferson, Craig Reynolds. That is our running back room. Okay, Eric says keep Maul, keep Swift. That's a heck of a 1-2 punch. I'm not out on Swift. Those TDs this year show he's got skill, 100%. And Eric, to kind of back up what you're saying, DeAndre Swift knows that he has to have a career year. Deuce Staley is gone. Maybe that'll be a plus for DeAndre. Maybe that'll be a plus. Okay, Eric. Okay, so let me ask, and this is for the whole chat, but Eric's asking the questions. Right now, if you are drafted, right? So Clyde Edwards-Helaire was the first running back taken off the board, right? Then it was like somebody, DeAndre Swift, Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Swift, somewhere around there. Dobbins was in there as too, in that whole cluster in 2020. Let me ask you a question, and this is for Eric and the rest of the chat. If you are drafted in the late first, early second, should you be a starting running back? Or should you be getting 5 to 10 carries a game like Eric is saying? Should you be RB1 if you are drafted late first, early second? My honest opinion, absolutely, you should be. Anywhere in the first 40 picks, you should be a starting running back. None of those guys have stayed healthy. Not Jamal, not Clyde, not Jonathan, not JK. They're all hurt, and they all should be starters. They all were drafted to be starters of their team. So this is not directed at Eric, but to me, DeAndre Swift should be RB number 1. He was drafted to be RB number 1. He reminds me of Kerryon. When we took Kerryon Johnson, he was drafted to be RB1. He was drafted in the second round. You got to be RB1 if you're taken in the first 2 rounds. So for me, we got to take the training wheels off DeAndre Swift. He is great when he's healthy, but when he's not, and also we saw DeAndre Swift come out the gate as a dog. He got hurt. He turned into that abused puppy that goes into the kennel, right? I said kettle. He goes into the pound. He had to work his. You ever see what it? And I'm not trying to be funny, man. I'm trying to not disrespect the man and call him a dog. I'm just comparison. Have you ever seen when you go into a shelter and you see a dog who's been abused, man, and they're cowering away from humans? You ever seen the guys come in? They lay down on the ground. That was DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift, he came out a dog. He got hurt. He then started to cower in the back of the cage. We had to lay on the ground and start to pet him so he could come back, right? We don't got time for that. He is on his last year. He don't got time for DeAndre Swift don't got time to play no games. Shoebox says, I don't think Swift doesn't like sharing the lows. Well, nobody cares, bro. He can't share. He don't have a choice. He don't have a choice. He is hurt every single year. 13 games is being hurt. When you come back from it took DeAndre Swift 10 games to start to resemble his former self, his early season self. We don't got time for that. Neither does he. He is on a contract year. I'm going to tell you what. I feel bad for these NFL players because with the money that they get, they are criticized by every human being alive. If it was my job to be on ESPN and get paid to talk about DeAndre Swift, I would voice my opinion, and it wouldn't always be good. And I couldn't imagine what that's like. But I also couldn't imagine being able to buy anything I wanted to. I'm not saying that I'm dogging him because he's rich. What I'm saying is that is part of the job. That is part of the job. If you are in front of 70,000 people and you are making millions of dollars and you are drafted in the early second round, you are going to be criticized. Ryan Leaf is the biggest bust in NFL history because he was taken after Peyton Manning. That is the bottom line. If Ryan Leaf was Mr. Irrelevant, we wouldn't even know who he was. Mr. Poole, what's up, my man? So I love DeAndre Swift, man, is like when you see him run, and I remember, I forgot what game it is, out of the backfield, DeAndre Swift, and I was so mad because he did he score this play? He sure did. I think he scored. He comes out of the backfield. He cuts inside. He puts that right foot, plants it. Put the defender on skates and caught a beautiful pass from Jared Goff. And I love the celebration. Shh. Right? Finger up to the mouth. Shh, be quiet. Put some respect on my name. That's all we want to do, Swift. That's all we want to do. Mr. Poole says, I think Swift gets traded during the draft. Okay, Swift. Okay, I was going to call you Swift. Mr. Poole, proceed, my brother. You can't just give it. You got to give us, like, with who? For what? What do you think? You see the glistening of what could be, then get in, then injured. Exactly. No, that's Swift for Slace. Okay, we got to do this. We got to stop trying to bring former Detroit Lions back. They're not coming back. They're not coming back. It's like Kate off Titanic. Never let go. I'll never let go, Jack. Blow that whistle. Let Jack go. He not coming back. Slay's not coming back. Diggs not coming back. They're not coming back. They gone. Ndamukong Suh, I swear we've been trying to sign him every single season since 2014. Man, we need to get Suh back. No, Suh. How many Detroit Lions have come back? Not a lot of them. Darius Slay is not coming back. He's not coming back. So that's my thought on DeAndre Swift. I love the kid. I think for me, when I saw him drop that game-winning touchdown pass, his first game as a Detroit Lion, to me, he's never been the same. He's never, and we didn't even have a full sample size. Oh, Jeff, I know. I know, bro. I that wasn't directed at you. I actually saw that on Google. Like Darius Slay. No, stop. We have to stop that. If Swift gets hurt week 3 next year, I swear to God. Well, I don't look. I just all I know is this, John, is Swift is playing for a contract. So not only like he's playing for his bag. So whatever he didn't play for, whatever he didn't play through, he played through a shoulder injury and all that stuff, and I commend him for that. But he's going to have to do that and some more. If he played like he did the first 3 games, he going to get the bag somewhere. I'll say this, and y'all going to hate me for this, but I don't care. I don't care, man. I get paid 50 cents to say this, okay? These shows give me about 50 cents. No, they give me about $2. I get about $2. I'm going to get $2 to say this. DeAndre Swift, man, is he more talented than Kerryon Johnson? Absolutely. But he is trending mighty Kerryon to me. Kerryon Johnson is out of the league. 5 years in. Somebody said it, I want to say it was Nick, but somebody made an Abdul, what is his name? Amir. An Amir Abdullah comparison to DeAndre Swift, and I can see that. I can see that. Amir Abdullah is still in the league. It was fresh and fly, okay? He's still in the league. Every time you look around. What was that song? Every time I look around. Every time you look around, Amir Abdullah is still, you be like, dang, he was on the Raiders. He on the Vikings. You be like, dang, Amir, you still in the league, bro? Only thing different changes the hair. Amir Abdullah. I see DeAndre Swift being a wee bit better than Amir. But Amir can stay. Amir find a way. He find a way. I see DeAndre Swift following the Kerryon trajectory. Mr. Poole says, I have a feeling, judging by Brad Holmes' track record, he's not looking to give anyone a bag right now. Swift was being shopped this past season. I believe he gets sent to Philly for a couple seconds. Dirt!
Oh, my God.
Wow. So, Lions fans, that's right, bro. That's right, Mr. Poole, because I was making videos. You wasn't around here, but I was making videos. We did hear the little rumblings, man. The little crackles that DeAndre Swift could be traded. Fearless. You got to let him go, bro. You got to, okay, Fearless. Get your mind, wrap your mind around this, okay? Wrap your mind around this. DeAndre Swift, this is his last year. So whether or not you hate it, you might have to face this next year this time. DeAndre Swift is Jamal Williams. Jamal Williams might be on this team, and DeAndre Swift is not. So you gotta get your mind right, bro. Because whether or not, unless they extend him, he might not be on this team next year. Swift shared a backfield with James Cook in college, and he's not a Brad pick. He's gone at some point. I didn't know that, Nate. I didn't know that. I do know that DeAndre Swift didn't get a heavy load. He had like 400 and some carries. I'm already giving up on who? I'm on Swift? I'm not giving up on Swift. Hey, listen. Hey, Eric, why you doing me like that, bro? The NFL stands for not for long. It needs to be not for long, especially for running backs. You don't see careers like LaDainian Tomlinson anymore. Curtis Martin. You don't see them guys. In my opinion, the most discarded position is a running back. Hey, Shoebox, I would hope so. That means if Swift balls out when he leaves Detroit, that means he turned his career around. Come on, y'all. Come on, man. We can't listen. We had a quarterback that was our quarterback for 12 years. And we didn't want to let him go so much that we start rooting for the Detroit Rams. Speaking of Detroit Rams, if Robert Woods and Jalen Ramsey wind up on this team, we got the real Detroit Rams. That's crazy. Matthew Stafford was here for almost as long. We literally drafted him. He had finished his rookie year when my son was born. When my son was born, he had just finished his rookie year, right? We didn't want to let him go. But it was time. If DeAndre Swift, let me ask you a question. Let me ask y'all in a chat a question. If DeAndre Swift has year 4, if his year 4 is like his year 1, 2, or 3, does he come back? Does he come back? Swift was a junior. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy, Nate. Mr. Poole says, oh, yeah, he got that Philly. He got that Philly, bro. He straight up, when he talked, he got that Philly accent. Oh, Mr. Poole, you see that comment, don't you? Fresh and Fly says, should we sign the Titans offensive tackle? He might be a great pickup. I know Mr. Poole wants him. I wouldn't mind him either. I would not mind it. I might. Wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. Brad Behrman, Kansas. Kansas don't know how to do no hot wings. Kansas. Okay, let me see. What are we looking at? Oh, okay. Well, my guy, man. My guy. Okay, Mr. Poole says, I didn't expect him to play to 35, but his explosive plays have one game for us. Cordero Patterson, amazing talent, but if he takes RB1 carries, their body don't hold up. Eric, what you saying is right, bro. What you saying is right. Listen, man, I'm just a messenger, bro. I'm just a messenger. I'm just a messenger. NFL is not for long, man. Especially not for long. ... Especially for running backs. Kerryon Johnson, not in the league. Adrian Peterson, I mean, he had worn out his welcome. You got to. I'll say this. Being in the NFL is like being a boy band. Like not a boy, not Boys to Men, not Jodeci, but a boy band. I'm talking about NSYNC. I'm talking about the Backstreet Boys. I'm talking about One Direction. That's what being in the NFL is. Live while you're young. Shout out to One Direction. That's what this is. They have their moment and then they're gone. DeAndre Swift is in his moment right now. If he doesn't capitalize on that, do I think DeAndre Swift will be out of the league in year 5? I do not. Do I think DeAndre Swift will be on the same team for more than 2 years? I also do not. If DeAndre Swift doesn't come out, Jamal Williams said we need dogs. Get out the way and let the big dogs eat. DeAndre Swift, for his career and for his future, needs to be a dog because he right now is trending in NSYNC. NSYNC was on top of the world for like 5 years, bro. I know because I went to 3 of their concerts. Don't play. All right? Love me some NSYNC. And they gone. You have not seen them since. The Backstreet Boys are still here. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Y'all gonna be mad. Don't be mad at me because I'm just spitting facts. Listen. I was playing Returnal with Kerryon Johnson. We had a co-op. Me and Kerryon Johnson on PlayStation 5. I know you're an Xbox guy, but I guess he got a PlayStation. And him and I was playing co-op Returnal. If DeAndre Swift don't want to be on the couch next to Kerryon Johnson, he got to ball out. That's it. Let me ask y'all this, and then we'll move on from Swift because we could talk about him all day. DeAndre Swift, at this moment, what is his 2024 offers looking like? Give me a 2024 offer. I don't want to hear if. I want to hear what you would give him in 2024 right now. DeAndre Swift, second contract. You want him back with the Lions. What do you give him? Nate says approve it deal. No way DeAndre Swift taking a Bonzilla, you stupid, bro. You stupid, bro. Okay, 1 year. Wait. Are y'all serious? So let me get this straight. You think DeAndre Swift is going to take a prove it deal in year 5? You think so? Let me ask you. The Lions offer him a prove it deal. Because you know Brad Holmes full of prove it. He full of prove it deals. DeAndre Swift in year 5 is going to take a prove it deal from Brad Holmes. Let Swift run up his trade value this year, then trade it for picks. Shoebox. But like Mr. Poole theory is, that's risky for the Lions. What would you we have this conversation during the season. Swift was a second-round pick. And do you know that in the middle of the year, y'all were saying that he had zero trade value? Zero. If you get a third-round pick for DeAndre Swift, you know how pathetic that is? You know how sad that is? Lamar Jackson was drafted 32nd overall. And he about to command a bunch of money. We got Detroit Lions fans fighting for him. And DeAndre Swift is a third-round pick? Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm just the guy telling you. 10 to 15 million for 2 or 3 to 4 years. I say tell Swift either take the prove it deal or watch Bijan next season take over. Well, he won't have to watch nothing because he won't be on the team, fresh and fly. And like somebody said earlier in the chat, if we take Bijan, he gone. Mr. Poole's rumors or theory might be confirmed at that point. So we'll move on from Swift because we literally could talk about him all day. He's almost as polarizing as Jared Goff. We got so much stuff to talk about, man. We're not going to be able to get it all in one show. We got Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson. As a matter of fact, I guess we can end. I saw something from Brad Behrman. It might be worth talking about. It might be worth talking about, but maybe we'll save that for another show, for Friday's show. I got to bookmark this info. Swift to the Panthers like everybody else. That's a good one. Speaking of Johnson, he turned down another contract, by the way. Well, Baltimore going to have to trade Jackson because he ain't signing nothing. Yeah, I know. I feel like Lamar wants to break the market, man. I feel like Lamar wants to break the market. Okay, let's do this. Let's see how we vibing real quick. And then maybe I'll add we usually go for like an hour 15, so maybe we'll do that today. Okay, so the Detroit Lions are pretty set to me at tight end. We got Zane Zilster, Brock Wright. We drafted James Mitchell. But there will be some free agent tight ends coming out. We traded away T.J. Hockenson. If we didn't trade away T.J., we wouldn't have thought we were set. So we good. We good. We're not drafting a tight end. I would be completely surprised if the Detroit Lions draft a tight end, especially the way our defense is, the tight ends we have on the roster, and the fact that there will be some solid, affordable free agents when it comes to tight end, right? But according to Brad Behrman, he believes that I'm sorry. Oh, my goodness. He believes that this tight end could be a potential good fit for the Detroit Lions. The reason I started laughing is because he is the tight end of the Tennessee Titans, Austin Hooper. And the Tennessee Titans, as we discussed earlier, are cleaning house. They went from $25 million over the salary cap just 8 hours ago to $4 million under. And Austin Hooper will be in free agency, so he's not going to affect them anyway. But because I saw it was Tennessee, I'm like, Tennessee, they blowing it up. Don't be surprised if Derek Carr or Aaron Rodgers go to Tennessee. We got to talk about Aaron Rodgers too. So I'm sorry, we gonna have to do at least the Aaron segment because I found out some stuff. Anyway, so according to Brad Behrman, we should sign Austin, or we should look at Austin Hooper. I'm sorry, it's called the brother Hopper. His PFF, not that it matters, grade is 68.8. His current contract projection is a 2-year, $8.5 million deal, which feels like a good value when considering he's a very solid player who has never earned a season-long PFF grade that's lower than 60. What is the fascination with PFF? Like, who are these guys? Are they Mark Rober? Is that who they are? Or did they work for NASA? Who cares? Like, when did PFF become the go-to authority for the NFL? I don't understand. He had a career low 2.4 drop percent rate in Tennessee. Spot Track has him estimated to get a 2-year, $13.4 million deal. Well, that ain't happening. We not signing no tight end for $14 million a year. That ain't happening at all. At all. So I think that we could get a tight end. I think we might. A tight end kind of like we did Jesse James a few years ago, who was a non-factor, but I believe whoever we bring in as tight end, if we bring in a free agent tight end, because let's be real, Zane Zylstra might not be on this team. He might not be on this team. There's a lot of, listen, the Detroit Lions team that you fell in love with in 2022 is not going to be that same team. You're going to see some standout faces. You're going to see some faces that you know and love, but a lot of guys, a couple of them guys going to be gone. Rock is a solid blocking tight end, and Mitchell has better hands. Well, what about Zane Zylstra? Look up, but I don't see anything. What about Mr. Zylstra? I do think we need 3 tight ends. I think it's a valuable asset. But I don't know. I feel like we do like a Hayden Hurst. Something like that. But the thing about Hooper is he would be a low cost. Brad is suggesting a 2-year, $10 to $11 million deal with 7 to 8 guaranteed. So instead of the 13.4, he gets 10 or 11 with 7 or 8 guaranteed on a 2-year deal. I don't know. I listen, whatever the Lions decide to do at tight end, I think I'm straight, as long as they don't draft one. As long as they don't draft. If they draft a tight end, I'm going to lose my mind. It's going to be Jameson Williams part 2. If I hear this, with any pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select a tight end from anywhere, I will lose my mind. Because you had TJ Hockenson for another year. You didn't have to pay him in year 6. You could have let him walk. You could have franchise tagged him. And you draft another one. So I think if we do anything, it's going to be in free agency. And I think it's some good people we could draft. Because as we can see from the second half of the season, the tight ends were not as valuable as you might have thought they were. Right? We still used them. We used them to block. We used them to catch. But they weren't like the catalyst of the offense. So we could definitely use a tight end in free agency, but I don't think we draft one. And like I said, if we draft one, I will explode. Panay, Sewell, and Decker. Okay, so Calvin Johnson. How y'all feel about Calvin, man? How do you feel about Calvin Johnson? Y'all know how I feel, how I felt. But it looks like that the Detroit Lions and Calvin Johnson might be close. Might be close. All right, let's do this. After 7 years being away from the NFL and the Detroit Lions and 2 years from being a first ballot Hall of Famer, can you believe that it's been 7 years since Calvin Johnson laced up? He was drafted in 2007. So you're talking about 16 years ago. And yes, Calvin Johnson's career would have been long over. He wouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. He played 9 years, all 9 with the Detroit Lions. He wouldn't be in the Hall of Fame yet because he wouldn't yet be eligible. I gave Calvin Johnson 2 years tops. He played 9 years. He barely got the 9th year. His dad is the reason he played year 9. He tried to get traded. Lions said no. And after 7 years of friction between him and the Detroit Lions, it looks like that by the time the season starts, at the very latest, the Detroit Lions and Calvin Johnson could be a thing. And Calvin Johnson wants to come back. He wants not come back and play. he wants to be part of what the Detroit Lions are doing. You know how there's a saying, right? You don't miss what you have until it's gone. And I think for the first 2 or 3 years, maybe even longer, Calvin Johnson had a lot of animosity. Even when he talked about the Lions, it's a lot of snarkiness. You could feel the bitterness. And I think at some point that washed away. He's got children. Some have been born since he retired, I believe. And he said on Jim Rome that he wants his kids to see what he was able to do. He wants his kids to kind of see his legacy. And the Detroit Lions and Calvin Johnson are very close to mending their relationship. Now, we're not strangers to friction with the Detroit Lions and former players. Barry Sanders was at odds from when he abruptly retired in training camp of 99, and it took them a long time. And it's great to see Barry Sanders in the organization as the Lions ambassador. Lions commercials, rocking the gear, making guest appearances, repping the Lions. Again, a Lions great that only played for the Detroit Lions. Now, I'm going to say this. Y'all love Matthew Stafford. And even though we gave Matthew Stafford what he wanted and we didn't do that with Barry or Calvin, maybe being a little selfish, 100%, Calvin and Barry only laced up for the Detroit Lions, whether they wanted to or not. And I think that that's something they will always have over Matthew Stafford. And in addition to that, which sucks for them, there are two Lions greats who Calvin never won a playoff game, and neither of them won the NFC North. It wasn't a thing when Barry was playing, and Calvin came close twice. Neither of them have any championship. Calvin and Barry are in the Hall of Fame, and I will say that Matthew Stafford will not be a first ballot. But it is, to me, imperative. And I'm one of the guys that was on the Lions side because I just thought Calvin was being selfish. Because I think of other people, and I'm thinking about the fans, and we loved him. Calvin Johnson was the reason a lot of us watched. When the Lions were 0-8, when they went 0-16, we watched for two reasons. Calvin Johnson, and to see them hopefully not be winless. And to hear that they're working through this and possibly on the men, he told Jim Rome, I'm excited just to be around the team again. Doesn't that sound like somebody who misses it? Calvin and Barry deserve to live like royalty, paid for by the Fords. They make billions and complaining about players' millions. I agree. Because when you think of the Detroit Lions, you think of Billy Sims, you think of some other guys, but you think of Barry Sanders first. You think of him first. You think of Calvin Johnson. I don't think you can say that about Matthew Stafford either. This is important because could you imagine Calvin Johnson, mid-30s, right? Mentoring a young guy like Jameson Williams. Because let's be real, for everything Jameson is, he's young. He's immature. We all were immature at 21. You can't tell me different. I was still immature at 26. Maybe even 30, right? I'm 43 years old now. I'll be 44 this year. I am solidified in maturity. Stuff that is stupid was stupid. You did this? You did that when you was 26? Could you imagine Calvin Johnson being there? Could you imagine seeing Calvin Johnson on the sideline at a Detroit Lions game? This is important. According to Calvin Johnson, he says that Mike Disner is who he believes is helping this move forward. He said, I'm excited about Disner actually reaching out and putting the effort forth to try to make that happen. So that's the difference that I have not seen in the past that's happening now. I'm so excited about it because, one, I want to get back around football, which I told you he misses it, and be able to help out the team. That's fantastic. Not that they need my help, but I mean, I have a lot of experience to share with those guys. And whether it's football or off the field, I definitely can be of value to the organization. I'm excited to be around the team again. That's 2 times he's used the word excited, which means that he misses this. Just being around football and allowing my kids to see some of the things that I was able to do while I was in Detroit. That sounds like a guy who A, misses the game, B, misses the team. Because even though, yes, we didn't treat our guys the best. And that's on the Lions. And they got to make amends for that. Calvin had to enjoy his time being in Detroit. Calvin still got roots in the city. This is fantastic. And just like Calvin and the Lions have come a long way in the 7 years that he's been retired, and they asked that for them $1.6 million back, I have grown to appreciate why Calvin Johnson has stood his ground. It's because it's not about the money. This was never about the money. When I saw it, I saw Calvin Johnson as, bro, you don't know how much you meant to us Detroit Lions fans. And to me, you was acting selfish. Like, think about the fans. Think about the Detroit Lions people. As I remember watching Calvin Johnson, that when you heard he was missing a game, you were devastated because you knew Calvin was going to put on a show. And every time he played, just like Barry Sanders, you expected a show. In the rare times that they didn't put on one because either the defense was too good or somebody had them locked up, or which was rare, but the game plan was perfect, right? But I would love to see this, and I think every Detroit Lions fan will love to see it as well. So hopefully the Detroit Lions can get this done sooner than later, and we can welcome back Calvin Johnson into the den. Man, Calvin is one of the best things to ever happen to Detroit. We need him around this new regime. Hey, that's fact, Shoebox. A source that's apparently close to the Packers says Aaron will be back in Green Bay next year. That means Kirby Joseph will get to play catch with his son, Aaron Rodgers, again. You know what? Thank you, KD. Thank you. Off the field, talking about his company with training, the NFLPA is considering the use of his products. Well, that's good. I mean, that's good. I'll always want what's best for the players. Hey, Derwin, I'm at the crib, bro. I'm not going anywhere. I'm hunkered down. I went out to get a package from UPS. It was and they can't put it in the mailbox, so they put it on the porch. And I went out and I found it in my driveway because it had blown out into the driveway. So I am in. But that goes for everybody in Michigan or any part of the United States that's getting hit with this late season storm, man. We're only getting ice predominantly. Not very much snow. But check this out. So I got to say this. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, but I got to do this. Now, usually I don't do this, but I'm sorry. Okay, we got to do this, man. I won't make this a segment, but I got to talk about this. This will be the last segment of the show. So Aaron Rodgers to me is, I'm going to tell you, I'm not even a Green Bay fan, obviously, right? And I'm hearing that the Packers fan base is sick of this guy. He is sick. I'm sick to death. When the San Francisco 49ers eliminated him in 2021, I thought we were done with him. The Packers signed him to a 2-year, $100+ million deal. I want to say it was like the biggest year-for-year deal in NFL history. It was like $100 million for 2 years. And he is guaranteed to make $49 million this year. It's like 50 or 60 million, one of the two. 49 or 59. And according to a show that I watched yesterday, Aaron Rodgers is in control here. The Green Bay Packers are not in control. And I think that the Green Bay Packers are weak to me. Like this organization is pathetic. Now, we just got finished talking about Calvin Johnson and the $1.6 million. I will say that the Detroit Lions, although it might have been petty, they didn't let one player control them. Aaron Rodgers controls not only the Green Bay Packers, but the city of Green Bay, the state of Wisconsin. He controls it. And which is sad because the Packers they don't have an owner. They don't have the only team in the National Football League that does not have an owner. But they do. His name is Aaron Rodgers, right? His name is Aaron Rodgers. But I wanted to talk about his darkness retreat. Okay? Now this tells you how much I care about this. I don't care nothing about Aaron Rodgers and darkness. I'm thinking the darkness retreat was a title. Was just I'm going into a cabin. I'm going away, maybe a retreat somewhere for 4 days, and I'm going to ponder life decisions. I found out an hour before this show that the darkness retreat was a literal darkness retreat, that Aaron Rodgers has spent 4 days or will spend 4 days in complete darkness. Complete darkness. According to the show that I watch, coming from the Green Bay Reporter, that Aaron Rodgers went somewhere. His darkness retreat is a literal thing of darkness. Pitch black. The video that I watched, they said that wherever he is, Eric says, I thought the same thing. No TV, no social media. Yeah, right. Eric, that's when darkness. It's you and you. It's you and your thoughts. It's you and nature. You're looking at the stars. You're looking at the mountaintops. Maybe you're petting some goats. I don't know. But you're detached. Not literal darkness. Aaron Rodgers said that you got an hour to get acclimated with this cabin with the lights on to know where everything is. And then they shut the lights on you. They shut the lights off on you. It's like something from the song. Would you like to play a game? The little tricycle guy comes out. You're in a cabin. It is complete darkness. That is the weirdest thing I think I've ever heard. Now, the first thing I thought is, as a dude, we got to aim, when we do a certain thing. We can't just be letting it go all wild. So that's the first. I said, bro, so you in the dark. Now, okay, sitting down is one. So that means, oh, man. I just realized something. Aaron Rodgers is going to have to sit down. Oh, Lord. He going to have to sit. Oh, Lord. I'm not going to say it, y'all. Aaron Rodgers got to sit down to go to the bathroom because if he stand up, he going to miss the whole thing. Oh, my God. Well,
we out of time.
Whoa. That means Aaron Rodgers has to sit down to relieve himself. Lord have mercy. Aaron Rodgers in the darkness, y'all. The darkness. He explained on Pat McAfee. I don't watch Pat McAfee. I told y'all that. So I guess he explained that he's in darkness. He's in darkness. So imagine being in your house and it is pitch, not a light from nowhere, not the clock, not the cable box, not the internet modem. It is no light. Here's my thing. Okay? Why you got to go away for that? All you got to do is put on the blindfold or the little things that go over your eyes. Why you got to go to a cabin somewhere? Listen, y'all send me some money, okay? Y'all send me some money. I'm going to tell you my Cash App. I will buy you a blindfold and send you to your own darkness retreat. What are we... When he comes out, I guess he will make his... intentions known. And I'm telling you what, I am sick to death of Aaron Rodgers. It has nothing to do with the NFC North and the Green Bay Packers. And no matter what happens in the rest of his career, whether it's in the NFC North with the Green Bay Packers or wherever, if he decides to retire. Like, can y'all picture this? And I'm all about, clarity. I'm all about clarity, but darkness, like, so if you, why are you in darkness? Are you in darkness so that you can see something? You know what I'm saying? Like, your entire world is dark. So then this thing becomes clear. Does something manifest itself? I don't know. But it's freaky to me. Mr. Poole, when and where is that happening, bro? And I'm all about clarity, man. I'm all about finding oneself. I'm 43 and I just found, I'm finding myself. I have totally matured. It took me 40 years of my life to get to where I felt comfortable knowing who I am. I get that. Aaron Rodgers he gonna be 40 years old. Maybe it's taking him the same thing. But but if he comes back to Green Bay, and no matter what happens for the rest of his career, one thing that will forever stay with me is this man has kept us from winning the NFC North 2 times. Well, one, it was Matt Flynn. We just could not beat that fool. And the second time it was Aaron Rodgers. Both times he played Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford was the quarterback they went against. One thing that I will never forget is how your whole prophecy, running the table, relax. What was it this year? Everybody counted us out. Can't lose to that team. One of the teams is 7-7. That when you needed to win and you needed to beat that same team that you kept dogging, we kept you behind out the playoffs and we sent you to the darkness. You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. We sent you to the darkness. And no matter what happens in his career, that is going to be the thing that I hang my hat on. Because we might not have a chance to beat him. We might not win the NFC North. I mean, we're trying, but we might not. No details yet, but he's supposed to be doing his show from Detroit. TJ Lang will be there too. I don't know if it's in association with Woodward or not, but it was a bet between Woodward and McAfee. Man, I need to start betting, bro. It's a shame I don't bet. Because if I would, I'd probably bet something. See if it'd get me somewhere. But listen, y'all. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. Sorry I was late today. As the offseason, I got so much stuff going on, man. I'm still trying to find a Pittsburgh Steelers host. My guy's last day is Saturday, so I don't know what's going to happen with that channel yet. Trying to find a host for that. I've got this channel. I've got Detroit Lions Syndicate. I've got the Gridiron Blitz. I've got the Gigi Con Don. We have a New York Jets channel starting on Monday. So my hands are full, and I'm super busy with real life and this YouTube thing that I'm trying to build, that me and my team are, I should say. So I apologize for being late. And as the off season is here, I take this very seriously. I want to continue to give y'all the content that y'all deserve. On March the 2nd, we will begin a show on Thursdays, very similar to the post-game show where we'll talk more Detroit Lions. And I'll open up the phone lines and stuff like that. We'll be on an hour. So this show will be 3 days a week until further notice. In July, I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I'm not going to be stressed because July sucks. July sucks. Everybody needs a vacation because the season is nonstop, man. But I will say this before we end this show. I think that the Detroit Lions are going to have a massive offseason. I think that whether it's trades, free agent signings, or the draft, I should say, because the draft is going to be a win-win. I think the Detroit Lions are going to make some noise, considerable noise this offseason. It hasn't officially began yet, but the Tennessee Titans sure did. So I think the Detroit Lions are going to have a big offseason. I do, man, because we are not under the radar anymore. The teams that might have thought they're going to walk past us are not thinking that now, starting with Aaron Rodgers. I bet you he won't say that stuff next year. I guarantee you. He's not going to say that team. He's going to say the Detroit Lions. So, with that being said, thank you for the patience. DoorDash is on some stuff. They got a peak of $4.50 because you could literally die out there today. That means for every $4.50, oh, it's gone. Wait a minute. It's gone. It left. Oh, no. It's out in where I dash at. $4.50. I say, oh, my God. Dude, that's the biggest I've seen it in a long time. So that means that every order that you deliver, you get an additional $4.50. But it would take near death for them to do that. So anyway, you guys are awesome, man. I will see you on Thursday. I'm sorry, on Friday, because that's what we're going to do from now on. Be safe out there in Michigan or anywhere else. I know Minnesota got hit pretty hard. It's dangerous out there. I went to go get my trash can to bring it in, and it was ice all over it. So be careful traveling, because I want to see you home at your families, with your family safe, and back here on Friday. See you then. Go Lions.
Hello, good morning. Horns is blowing, and I'm pissing off the neighbors. Whether homegrown or imported, we feeling shorted, cause we waiting on our paper. So next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, when we get back on our feet. Yeah, you don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the Motor City, nothing is as pretty as the hustle. You don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the Motor City, everything ain't pretty, but it's love though. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, when we get back on our feet. Yeah.